Hello, this is Victor. I'm here with in the second part on the tutorial of the Razorwing Jetfighter. So then, after doing the base, I think it's a moment to start with the actual model. And what I'm going to do is I will explain you what parts I assemble, and I will show you and explain why I paint them before assembling or not. So you see here I will follow the instructions, and then depending if I see that it's covering parts or not, I will assemble it or not these parts. So the first thing is to assemble the pilot. So what I will do, I will assemble the pilot as you can see here, and I will cut the cockpit from the frame, and I will paint these parts separately, and once both are painted I will assemble them together. So let's start. So again, this part here, this is the cockpit. I will not do much, just cut it out from the sprue. Sorry if I go out of camera, but this is difficult to do it here. But one thing that I do normally is, when this is small pieces, is I keep part of the sprue with the part. Especially if you can the one that have the number. That way I have a handle for the part, and I can paint the part and have a small handle to work with that. And I will cut off the different parts of the dark elder. So always when you cut the flat parts, the flat part of the clippers facing the part that you want to clip out, and you cut. Be careful with these small parts. So I will focus here a little bit. So the clip parts flat to the part. I will keep this small part here. So you will see that what I do is cut that, and here I will go. In that way, even when it's assembled, I will have a small handle that will help me to the paint. This is the head of the pilot. This is part of the console. And then we have the arms. The arms, for the moment I keep them with the small part of the sprue, just in case I want to paint them before assembling. So I like to take the pieces and have them in front of me before assembling anything. So these are the different parts that I need to assemble. Okay, put them separately. I keep the other ones in the sprue, just to go through them later on. So always have your instructions in front of you to see that you are doing the right thing. So one of the important things is that this part is assembled the last one, because it seems that, so don't assemble this part. Here is a small mistake because I don't have a way to handle that, so I will try to paint it separately, but here there are holes, and I guess these holes will go for these pins here, so you should assemble this the last part. What I will do is I will start gluing the front and back torso, and what is important here, you will see these have a shaped hole, means that the arms have a fixed position, so they cannot rotate, and this will help you a lot on the assembly. And as I can see, the arms are not covering too much the body, so I will assemble everything. I will just do this part, and the rest is going to be done in the same way. I will not assemble everything in front. I will keep the bottom, part of this sprue, so I will put a little bit of glue here. I use glue for plastic. In that case, it's much better than using super glue or cyanoacrylate. So I ensure that it's together. The head also have a small pin that will go in the hole that is here, and this is important in that case because it means that you have the right orientation of all the parts, what is helping a lot. So a little bit of glue. Have a tissue because in case you have excess of glue on the outlet you can clean a little bit, and then of course if a dot is falling down you can take it out. Okay, so I put the head in position. Okay, and then I will glue the arms, and in that case, as I'm gluing them with the clippers, I will take the sprue out. So this is the arm of this side. Be sure that these two parts are parallel, or are in the same height, as you can see here. So it's important that this thing is all at the same height, because they have to go into the hole here, into the slots. So now this part is assembled. I use one of these how it's called, clamps, to hold it, and I can paint the other parts. So just clean a little bit this and cap. So now we can start painting the Cockpit, and I will paint also this to facilitate the work on that. Here I have double-sided tape. I will put this thing here. In that way I can paint the console quite easily and before assembling, and then I can assemble everything together. Okay, so here you have the pilot, the Cockpit, and the console of the Cockpit. So first I was looking a little bit how I want to paint the Cockpit. What I will do is I will apply another layer of black because I wanted it to be very dark, and then I will paint the different elements of the Cockpit in greens, the different details, and I will do a little bit of OSL. So the first thing is apply a very thin layer of Abaddon black because I want it to be uniform, and I see when I did the priming it's not covering completely and it's not fully uniform, so important to do a very thin layer of black before as a base color. For the people that is following this tutorial, I'm going to go to quite a lot of detail on this one, so maybe some parts you want to skip it if you think that it's too much detail, or go too much into the detail, or you are not interested. The Cockpit is one of these elements that you can paint or not paint, and then you paint the glasses in a solid color. So if you are planning to paint the Cockpit glasses in a solid color, you don't need to do the pilot and the Cockpit and all this type of parts that I'm painting now. But as I'm planning to leave the how is it called this, the glass of the Cockpit. I don't remember now the name. I'm planning to leave it transparent, and most likely I will not glue it if I don't see the need. So this is why I want to paint the Cockpit. Okay. So just I start first applying a layer of black. I will leave it black and dark, as this is the nature of the dark color. Okay. And I will do the same on this one to be sure that when I glue it everything together, they have exactly the same tonality and I don't have different tonalities. On the pilot, I cannot do the layer before yet. I will need to wait at least 1 hour to be sure that the glue is completely dry. I don't want to mess up with the glue, so at least I have the glue is drying quite fast nowadays, but I want to be sure that it's completely dry before doing any work on that, and I will wait at least 1 hour. And I will do the same. I will apply first a layer of black. So now we need to wait until this is completely dry. So the black on the Cockpit is completely dry now, and I can start painting the different details. These have not a lot of details to be painted, to be fair with you, so I will go likely to glowing green because there is not a space on these small details to go for a lot of different details. I will take a detail brush, and I don't like to put a lot of colors. In that case, I will do all the buttons on the same color, so I will just go green and do these different things that have here on the okay. This one here, and all there is a lot of small buttons here. I will pin them all green. Then here there is like things, and these are the ones that I will do as if they were lights. So I will paint this, sorry, these small things, I don't know how to call it, these strips here, and I will do the other one on the other side. One recommendation is to do the OSL, then I need the pilot to be assembled. You cannot do this without assembling the pilot because you want to know where the light is going. But all of these small details, and it's more to be easier for me to paint the pilot than any other part, because here in the Cockpit you see that it's not much to do. So I will use the same green as to apply the base color on the screen. You can see this green is not covering very well on top of black, so I will need 2 layers of this green to have a good coverage. I will also do this thing here and these buttons. Okay. So while I will change my mind here, I will go for darker green on the screen. Because so I will go in the middle of the screen with this darker green, this dark angel's green. I leave the edge with the green that I played before, but something like that. Okay. Now what I will use is I will use mud green. I will apply mud green this light here and here on this. And I will pick some of the buttons here. So you can leave some darker and some lighter. This can simulate that some are activated and some are not activated. Okay. On the console, what I will do with this green is I will paint something like that. Like if there is then you can paint like some text in that side and here, and maybe there is something here. Okay. For the other buttons, let's just put a little bit. Okay, and I will leave it like that. To finalize the work with the Cockpit, I will use first edging gray, and I will do a little bit of edge highlighting to the different edges of the Cockpit. Later on maybe we are going to apply green on that, so but I want to leave it this, so you will see that this is very close to the dark, and I have to these brushes. So you see, and I will do a little bit of highlight on the legs of this man that are here. Okay, and I will not paint the rest of the edge because this goes inside of the housing, so I don't know how the rest is going to be visible, and the rest, the most exterior part will be painted once. It's assembled. So here okay, I will do a second highlight using Dumbstone. The copy, this part also needs to be highlighted, so I will go directly to the Dumbstone. I will do just something like that. Okay. Here. Yes, like this. Okay, and the legs a little bit. And this will be enough. So I will keep this apart, and now we are ready to start working on the pilot. And as I said before, on the pilot first we need to apply a base of Abaddon Black, so I will do that and I will be back once the Abaddon Black is dry. We see that the parts in the Cockpit at this moment they have what they need to do. There are not too much to do on these parts. Almost on the console. I hope you can see it. Go there. We'll do close-ups later on. But now it's time to work on the Elder on the pilot. So my army normally have a black with red armor plates. So the pilot is going to follow the same color scheme, and I will use scab red to paint some of the armor plates. I will not do too much. I will keep the pilot as black as possible, or very black, I would say, but I want to paint some of the armor plates in red to be in conjunction with the rest of the army. I think I will only paint these two plates, because the mask I will not do it red. I will go for black with green reflections. So this is what I will do. I think I will do this. These ones are not going to be very visible. These ones, to be fair, once it's assembled. And the pilot is not the best. It's not the most visible thing in this miniature. But nevertheless, I will do these things here. Okay, as you see, I try to paint leaving the black between the armor blades. Okay. If I paint a little bit there, I will go, then I will do a second layer of scab red here on these bigger plates, especially on this one, that the color was not fully uniform. I think I will do it up to here. Now what I will use is I will highlight the miniature. I will start with Ashen, I found it, Ashen Gray. So I will just do some example here, and the rest, but is more or less the same that I did on the Cockpit. I go to the edge of the armor plates and the parts that I think are heated by the light. For example, this part here, I will go to this one. Okay, and I will follow this. Okay. One thing that I will have next to me is the black. In case you do a mistake or you think that you went too far, you always can have black to correct. Wait until it's dry and then you do the appropriate correction. Here I will paint following the folds of the cloth or the musculature. I will mainly highlight the top of the arm. Okay. Here I have like a little cable. And in the back armor, I will do the edges. Right, so I will keep doing that. I will connect once I do enough examples, and I will connect once I finish with this. So now I finalized the highlights with etching gray. I will do the second highlights with downstone. And the same, I will do the thing of doing first the etching gray is that the transition will look smoother in normally. The past I was jumping daily to the downstone color. And on top of that, if you miss any highlight now with the downstone, is not important, as you have the first highlight done with etching gray. So we'll do this one here. One thing that I want to explain, this thing here in the middle looks like a zip or something like that. What I do is I go with the brush almost horizontal and without almost doing any pressure, I just go through that. In that way, going with the brush very horizontal, very flat to the surface, and with very little pressure, you only hit the top parts of the texture. Here I will do next to this thing. So and then I will do the arms as well. And so I will do the same on the other hand, but this is what you do. So you do a second highlight using downstone gray, and I try to leave a little bit of the previous layer visible, so in that way the transition will look less sharp, more integrated, more blended with the black. Though when you are highlighting black, you want to go very extreme. If you do too much gray, then you will start losing the black and will start looking more like dark gray. So I will keep doing that. I will connect once I finish this highlight. So second highlight is done. I will do the third highlight on the black, and this time I will use administrating gray, that is the lighter one. So this one, you only want to do it in a very a few spots. For example, here. Here. Here I will do yes, small touch. And I think that's all. Yeah, that's all. We'll leave it like that. We are going to highlight the red. I did. I will use Mephiston red to do a little bit of edge highlighting to the armor plates. Here what I will do is I will also do I will touch here the middle a little bit. In that pilot it's not so important to do that, it's more important in our miniatures where the back is more visible. So this, and then we go to the green. I will do the mask with green. So what I will do is I will do, for example, something like that. I will paint here at the bottom. I will do another opposite one here at the top. Okay, and I will do the same here. Okay. Now I will take how is called this? Warstone glow, sorry. And I will go to the same spots. And here at the front. And we emphasize this one here. And we make something like that. And here we do the same. Now I will take mood green align. So, check this. And I will do the same here. Now we are going to work to one. Then the thing that you can do is you can do another one here like that. Small one. Here at the back I will smooth as well. So this is going to be good enough. Something like that. And now this is ready to be glued. So as I said, first we have to glue the pilot. So with the clippers I take this part. We have to be sure that the commanding things goes into the slot. So as you can see here. So first I test, looks okay. I will put just the dot of glue here, and that's all. I have looked a little bit, it's too much here. Take the pilot, and we put him in place. Okay, and then we take this, the screen, the console, and put a little bit of glue. A little bit here, it's too much. You think that you put too much, and I wash with a tissue to remove the excess of glue. Okay. Now we let it dry and we do the final touches once this is dry. Dim breath is completely dry. Now next step, I will do dry brush with Balthasar Gold here. We can use this big brush. And I will just so this is difficult to see, it's very subtle change. Just do one brush with this color. Okay, now we are going to do a second dry brush using Sycorax Bronze. Okay, this is all this here. The next thing that I will do is I will start doing the burn marks at the end of this engine, or this of the spurs. I will start using dark earth powder from Forge Wall. So again, take a little bit. Mix with water. And I will start applying this at the outlet here in that part here, as you can see. If it's too heavy, because here they have more, then with water you can always dilute it. It's better here that you do first one layer, you let it dry, see what is the effect, and then you keep doing layers of this on this part of the okay. Now we'll take the black powder. I will put a little bit more. We'll put a little bit of this black powder to the more to the edge. The thing here is each time you do a layer with one of the powders will mix with the previous layer. So this will help a lot the blending and make the transition softer. We'll take a little bit more of this powder. So you put this black powder more at the extreme, make it burn marks. You can also do something like that. Later on we are going to go back to the brown to soften. Smaller brush. see, I apply here at the extreme. When it's getting dry, we'll give the look that we want. And if it's too exaggerated, then we go with water and we can, but you see it's making this matte effect. Then you can take a little bit of water and soften and blend it a little bit more. So we let it dry. It's important that we don't miss this part here. And the inside, if we see that it's not black. So, but this will be the effect. Once it's drying, I hope you can see it. I will move the camera. So this is how it's looking like. This one is wet and this is when it's dry. So we'll give this type of burning. Okay. So all the parts are now glued together. They fit very well. And the last things I will do is I will paint these two buttons on top of the handle. I will do also green. The end, I don't think I will leave it like this, and I will not start doing OSL inside this, because I think it's a lot of work and it's not going to be visible, or very visible. So I just leave it like that. The only thing that I will do, just to finalize, is I take hard coat and I will paint with gloss varnish. I will do this part of the helmet. Don't be scared if you see it, that is a little bit whitish. It's completely transparent once dry. But try to be thin as well. Don't be too thick. And then I will put the same thing on the screens. Okay, and this is finalized. So the copying now is done and it's ready to be glued on the bottom part here. So sorry, in that position, but I will not glue it right now. I leave it apart in the side, pending to be painted. And this will finalize the second part of the tutorial. So the copying is done, and now we are going to do the third part, where I will explain how I'm doing this engine, how I'm doing these parts here. So we're ready for the third part. I hope you're enjoying. It's going to be a long project. I don't know if I told this before. It's going to be a long project because I want to go into the detail. I want to explain the assembly a little bit, and also all the different parts that I'm doing, and I prefer go block by block. So this is the Cockpit, and in the next video I will explain how I paint this part. So thanks a lot for watching. This is the final result of the Cockpit. Let's take a better look. So this is the final result on the Cockpit. I hope you find it interesting. Thanks a lot for watching, and see you again later. Bye!